friends, and welcome back to my crafty space where I share my memory keeping projects and processes with all of you. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. My name is Crystal and I am super excited that all of you are here today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you can see all of my future crafty videos if you haven't already. And all of the products or the links that I mention in this video, I will go ahead and put in that description box down below. So today we are moving along in our Project Life 2020 and I am working on week 17. So for this week, this is the last full week of April, and I have chosen to work with the Allie Edwards Digital Stories by the Month kit from this month, so from April of 2020. I went ahead and pulled out some other stuff from my stash. So I've got some tiny word stickers here. I've got a Kelly Perky alphabet, what do I want to call this? Stickers? Alpha stickers. That also goes really nice with the kit. And I have printed out some of the digital elements to turn into my own chipboard pieces. Before I get into actually assembling this, I will take you guys over to my computer screen and show you how I put together some of the pieces in this kit. So I turned one of the cards into a title card, and then I recolored a bunch of these lovely journaling cards just to have a repeat element. So I will show you guys how I did that before we get into the assembly portion here. And then we will speed this part up and get everything put together. However, before I do any of that, I do want to let you guys know that this week 17, is actually the week that I am documenting for Week in the Life. So that being said, I did add, some journaling in here, and I did add some photos in here, but it's not really a great representation of the entire week. It's just some of my favorite pictures from the week, because this week in its entirety is going to be documented on a really deep level in my Week in the Life album. But I don't want to miss a week in my Project Life, so I also will have it documented there. Mostly so that, Project Life for me is a way to see the whole year at a glance. And also if the albums end up being split up between my children later in life, they're not missing out on a week just because I made another album about it. So I guess that's kind of my mind or my thought process as to why I am documenting the week here and there. But here is definitely a more bird's eye view. And the photos are more of my absolute favorites from the week. So that being said, let's go ahead over to the computer and let me show you guys how I created some of my journaling cards to use for this kit. And then we'll come back over here, put this together, and go from there. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to get started on my Photoshop Creative Cloud program. And the first thing I'm pulling up is this April Joys journaling card. Now, this is one that has like the 5 spots where you can put 5 little stories, but I actually decided I wanted to make this into my title card. So I used my eraser to get rid of the 1 through 5. Then I used the marquee tool and selected the 3 rows of the April Joys words. I then right-clicked and layer via copied those rows, positioned them down below the first original 3, and then merged the layer. Then I used the marquee tool again to select all 6 rows because I actually wanted to adjust it up just a little bit. Then I, instead of layer via copy, I did layer via cut instead so that I could just move all 6 rows up. Then once I had all of that positioned, I merged it and decided I wanted 1 additional row of the April Joys. So I used the marquee one last time to select just the top row so I could bring that down to the bottom, set it there, and merge the layer together. So now that card is ready to be printed. That's going to become my title card for this spread. It gave me a place where I could put my week number and dates and that sort of thing. Next, I am going to take a journaling card this one right here that says lovely. And what I want to do is to recolor the word lovely to 3 different colors that are in the kit. So I'm using this Right Now card as my color palette so that I know my word, the color of that word is going to match the rest of the kit as well. So I picked 3 of the colors. I picked the blue, a deeper coral, and the teal color to recolor that word, and I'm going to print it 4 times for 4 different journaling cards. A lot of times I like to do this when Allie has these types of cards in here, is to use them as a repeat item or element on my page. I think it makes everything look really cohesive. Last but not least, I am pulling open this quote card that says, always find time for the things that make you feel happy to be alive. And it's got that darker coral color on it, but I actually decided that I wanted it to be a little bit of a brighter yellow. So I took the yellow from the lovely card and used that color to recolor the quote card. And then I printed everything off in addition to these chipboard pieces, which I did place onto like a faux layout. I basically put everything in Photoshop as a layout and designed it prior to printing it off. So I know exactly where each of these chipboard pieces is going to go, which is going to make this spread come together super, super quick. So I'm going to leave in the footage for this first one so you can see how I turn these printouts into faux chipboard. Basically what I do is print them on photo paper so that they are nice and saturated and have really good color. Then I fussy cut them out and adhere them to some recycled box material. So this is just a box. It goes a really long way when you use some box material like this. This was from some toaster pastries. And what I'm going to do is apply the first one or adhere the first one so that the box material is touching my photo paper or the cardboard section. And then I'm going to flip that box over and adhere the 2 printed sides together. I don't know if that makes any difference or not, having the cardboard versus the printed side touch the photo paper, but just in case, it seemed a little bit more like actual chipboard if I was placing the brown papery side, I guess, onto my photos. If you guys are worried about things like acidity levels, I actually don't know whether or not the recycled cardboard has, acidic issues with it. So, over time will tell, and worst case, if I have to reprint photos, and it's fine and whatever. So I don't mind it. And I'm just going to go for it. So now what I did is I pulled over those Kelly Perky, what are they? Kelly Perky Alpha stickers. I think I'm just having trouble with that today. Alpha stickers, as well as some labels. So this label set also came from Kelly Perky, and I'm using that long yellow one to create a space to put my week title and number. Then I'm going to stamp underneath it with my roller stamp the actual dates of the week and use one last little sticker from that sheet. It's like a plus sign that I will put in between the dates. So this is covering April 20th to April 26th. And I really like the way that this title card turns out. It's really nice. It's a good way to add my week number and everything, and it just kind of brings this whole page together when it's all said and done. Once I get this card put together, I am going to pull over all of my pictures and journaling cards for the first half of this spread. So like I said in the introduction, this week is actually the week I'm documenting Week in the Life. So I had so many pictures to pick through, which is a good thing. So I picked out some of my more favorite pictures. I mean, really, honestly, there were so many good ones that even that was hard to do. So I just picked a lot of the ones of us being kind of outside and gave a really general idea of what our week looked like. So you will see that almost all of the pictures take place outside. And I think almost all of the pictures are only from like 2 or 3 days of the week, but that is okay because I know that all of my pictures are going to be inside of my week in the life album, so it really does not bother me. Okay, so here we go. So I've got a couple of pictures of the kids outside there, and the stories that I told this week, first was about the yard starting to come to life. We've got some flowers that are finally blooming outside, and it finally started to feel like spring this year. Our little neighbor boy left a flower on our play set for Izzy, so she took a picture with her flower. It's super cute. I also got a picture of Dibs sleeping in his usual spot midday, I want to say. So he doesn't always make it into my spreads, but I try to remember to include him too. So there he is. Then I've got the kids playing in the dirt, which is like their normal thing, and swinging on the swing set and all that stuff. I talked about how the kids have been loving playing in my raised garden bed. They just dig in the dirt, and right now nothing's planted there, so it doesn't matter. But we are actually starting some seeds inside this week, so that's been really fun. Then I'm going to go ahead and work on the second side right here. So I am in the middle of reading The Shining by Stephen King. It is my book club book, so that's me reading outside. Izzy and I played some hopscotch, and Aaron and Jonah did some cuddling on the couch. We also added or finished off the lower section of our swing set over the weekend. We added some garden fabric and the not plastic, they're rubber wood chips to like this underneath side where it's supposed to be a sand pit, but we didn't want it to be a sand pit. We have a sand table, so we took the table and we put that inside of the pit. It's got a cover and everything. So that's what that picture is that we finally finished that, and the kids are playing in the sand. And then I also have a picture of our grocery haul in the garage set up for disinfecting. So super fun there. And that's pretty much what I talked about, is like going outside and playing hopscotch with Izzy and how that was super fun, and finishing the sand table, and Aaron having to work on Saturday, and that sort of thing. So the last thing I'm going to do to finish up this spread, again, this is just super simple. I just kept it really, really simple this week, and I honestly love it. I love spreads that are more simple. Like, I need to remember to do that more. And I feel like I say that every time I do a spread like this. Anyway, so the last thing I'm going to do is pick one word phrase sticker to put on each of those 3x4 cards. So the picture of Izzy says picture perfect. The one of her on the swing says something good. On the hopscotch, I say in the moment. And by the food, I say spring cleaning. And that completes this. All right, you guys, that completes this week, and that was probably the fastest week of Project Life I have maybe ever done. This was really, really quick. So before I printed off all the elements, I did set this page up on my computer so I could kind of figure out which embellishments I wanted to print off and those sort of things. So I did already have each of these chipboard pieces predetermined on where they were going to go. And then I knew that I just wanted to keep things really simple. So I added the chipboard to all of the 4x6 photos, and then all of the 3x4 photos, I thought I could add maybe something small on them. And that's where the idea of these tiny word phrase stickers came from. Anyway, so this just goes to show that a Project Life spread does not need to be overly complicated. I basically picked 3 things. Like, I did my journaling cards, my chipboard pieces, and my phrase stickers, and that is it. So I guess use this as inspiration to not overthink on your next Project Life spread, and to maybe figure out a way to use some of your digital products to create a Project Life spread. That also made this really easy to put together. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up down below. And I will see you guys again tomorrow for the next installment in our Story Kit Crush series, where we are working with a new kit because, yay, it is officially May. So bring on the May weather. and the May memories. Here we go, and the May stories, right? So I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye now.